I just never thought applying the ancient Bayesian concepts to binary trading would work like this. I've honestly never seen anything like it before.
Bayesian binary has been an absolute life changer for me. I now have time to sit by the pool or whatever I want to do. Jim and Jason are geniuses for applying Bayesian statistics in a way that anybody can profit from. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys.
The results just keep coming and coming and coming. Jason, Jim, thanks guys.
Hello my friends, I'm Professor Hans von Puppet. You know, Bayesian probability is an ancient formula, a theory and concept dating back to 1702. And now, thanks to Jason Brown and Jim Roach, those ancient concepts are being applied in ways we never thought possible. Are you confused? Don't be. My buddy Jason will explain everything in just 3, 2, 1. Here he comes.
In the 18th century, 1702 to be exact, a mathematician and theologian named Thomas Bayes made an incredible discovery. That discovery later became known as Bayesian probability. And today, over 300 years later, that same discovery helped me reel in exactly $426,215.10 in 28 days. That same discovery bought me a brand new BMW i8 supercar. That same discovery let me kiss my fat cat boss goodbye and let me live life on my terms. And yes, that same 300-year-old discovery, which made me a super cushy six-figure income, the theory of Bayesian probabilities, is now available to you too. And the best thing? It won't cost you $1, a pound, or a euro. The Bayesian probability theory is used these days to analyze large sets of scientific and medical data, and stuff like clinical trial results and data to see whether a drug is working as intended. But in reality, the Bayesian theory and methodology can be applied to anything at all. And that's when it hit me. You see, it was only 8 months ago I first got started. Now, I've got no idea how I ended up on this guy's email list, but I received a very enticing email about a new automated app that could bring in thousands upon thousands of dollars every day on autopilot. I remember saying to myself, fat chance, and moving it to my trash folder. But every week I'd get another of these emails with a new system or a new way to make money on the internet. Eventually I said to myself, screw it, let's check one of these out. So I signed up for a supposed automated app, and I was told I would be making thousands every day within minutes. Can you guess what happened? You're right. I didn't even make $1 in my trading account. I managed to withdraw what was left of my account balance and then decided I'd never ever buy one of these stupid products again. Anyway, fast forward around 2 months. I was in my therapist's office, and there was a magazine on the table, Business Insider or Entrepreneur magazine, something like that. I can't remember which. But a headline on the front cover caught my attention. Statistics Geek makes six figures in 6 weeks trading binary. So I flicked through the magazine and I found the article. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. The reason I didn't make any money was because I was using a dumb automated bot. One that didn't rely on any statistical analysis, just signals which are freely available on the web. Now, this guy was in his 60s, a retired math teacher. He somehow stumbled upon trading and was using Bayesian probability and statistical theory to trade binary options profitably. I'd never heard of Bayesian probability before this article, but it certainly got my interest. An old friend of mine, Jim Roach, had lost his job as the head of a college math department just 2 weeks ago. So on the off chance he was still out of work, I pinged him on Facebook. I saw he read the message straight away, but it took him nearly 3 hours to reply. When he finally replied, my heart skipped a beat. I'd sent Jim a scan of the magazine article that I'd found on Bayesian theory combined with binary options. He must have gone away and did some research of his own. He replied telling me that he'd never heard of this method of trading, but was very familiar with Bayesian theories and statistics. In fact, he taught an entire semester on it at college. Bingo! Even better, once he'd done some research on the trading platforms available, he managed to find 2 to 3 specific brokers which would support this kind of trading. We vetted each one carefully, making dozens of phone calls and checking their regulation status. And then we got to work. Me and Jim met at the local library, armed with a whole heap of charts and graphs from Jim's Bayesian studies. We started to make trades based on Bayesian theories. The results were astounding. From our tiny $250 starting investment, by the time we left the library, we'd grown it to over $1,200. Bearing in mind, neither of us had ever made money on the internet before, never mind this kind of money. And the profit just didn't stop. It was like scooping money out of a great big golden honey pot. After another early morning trading session, our balance was over $3,300. That's over $3,000 in profit. But there was a problem. We were manually making all of these trades, referencing different charts and graphs, and making a split-second decision ourselves based on the Bayesian principles. This took a lot of work and time, and while we sure didn't mind for the money we were making, we knew there must be an easier way. Around a week later of manual trading, our balance was sitting at $22,000. Pretty incredible. And we decided to take a big risk. So we withdrew $20,000 back to our bank account and decided to hire a team of crack programmers. So for the next 6 weeks, our development team based out of Germany slaved away, armed with all of the documentation and systems Jim had developed from the Bayesian methodology. And then finally, one day, we received an email with a zip file attached. We unzipped the file and launched the app. We logged into the trading platform and put the app to work. The results were astounding. Just a week after we put the app to work, I went out and bought a brand new car. Jim took his wife on holiday, something he hadn't been able to do for years. And finally, we had the time to do whatever we wanted. Life was finally on our terms. To say that Bayesian binary changed my life is an understatement. It saved my life. After the crappy auto traders I fell for, I knew I had to get this into the hands of as many people as possible. Unfortunately, our developers gave us the heads up that we could only realistically handle 120 simultaneous traders. So we've had to cap our system to that limit. But there's good news. If you're seeing this video, that means there is still space available. You too can use the ancient Bayesian theories to turn your life around. Whether you just want more free time to spend with your family and friends, or whether you want a sweet new car like mine, Bayesian Binary can get you there. There is no fee to get started with Bayesian Binary. We only get paid when you make a successful trade, which is a benefit to you, if anything. Now, your space is reserved for you for the next 10 minutes only, so be quick. After that, we can't guarantee a slot will be remaining. Obviously, demand is extremely high, especially with the recent media coverage. Go ahead and create your free Bayesian Binary account now. I can't wait to hear how much you make with my app in the next hour.